DeAndre Swift owning that type of receiving role, 23 air yards per target for Elijah Moore. I'm a little pessimistic about Chase Claypool's ceiling.
A lot of worry about Austin Ekeler coming into this ball game.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
DeAndre Swift, even from a quote-unquote backup role, ended up still getting, more touches, more usage, and all of those things. But, man, both of those backs are just going to be crazy PPR gold. And I guess I'll ask you, Matt, do you think that can hold up? Can this offense really support these two guys as PPR machines?
If we want to bet on the fact that no Lions receiver is relevant, which I think is a pretty good bet, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown can come on at some point for sure. He's still a rookie, whatever. But
right.
This is not going to be a super productive receiver core. Then absolutely you want to. DeAndre Swift was on route 63% of the Lions passing plays. He was out there running routes. That's very, very exciting for DeAndre Swift. He was out there, absolutely registered 11 targets. If DeAndre Swift owning that type of receiving role, I think he can still push for a top 15 fantasy finish if he's truly gonna be in that type of role for this type of team.
Swift played 65% of the snaps. Jamaal Williams played 35% of the snaps. Williams got 9 carries for 54 and a touch, which is really, really good and efficient. DeAndre Swift, 11 carries, 39 yards. That is concerning a little bit. And then from the receiving side, it's Swift saw 11 targets. Jamaal Williams saw 9. Are these volume levels sustainable? I don't think so. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Running backs combined are getting 20 targets out of this back. What that's madness. What do we make of Elijah Moore, though? Again, somebody who you and I were both extremely high on.
I do think the offensive line for New York is going to be a problem. That was a big issue for Elijah Moore, who was, he got 4 targets, only 1 catch for negative yardage. But the good news is the air yards were there. 23 air yards per target for Elijah Moore. That's a pretty juicy role. If they're going to actually use him as a deep guy, I'm not concerned about Moore. I would definitely hold him for sure. I mean, Corey Davis obviously looks like he's going to be an every week starter at this point. But that was what was really encouraging to me, is that it was from a usage standpoint, from an air yard standpoint, it was Corey Davis and it was Elijah Moore. Them getting Elijah Moore deep looks was encouraging. I would not drop Elijah Moore at all at this point.
No, not me neither. And by the way, he's out there a lot. Corey Davis played 88% of the snaps. Elijah Moore played 85% of the snaps. There's no other wide receiver that played more than 55% of the snaps. So he's out there.
I'm a little pessimistic about Chase Claypool's ceiling than I would have been a week ago. And the biggest reason is that he's not playing in two receiver sets. He's still clearly the third receiver here. Juju Smith-Schuster leads the team with 35 routes run. Najee Harris, another 100% snap player. So don't ding hit your expectations on Najee at all. He was second on the team in routes run, and then Deontay and Chase Claypool were there with 29. But Chase Claypool only 5 targets. The fact that Chase Claypool still looks like he's behind Juju, though, that's gonna make him volatile. He had an awesome catch against Tre'Davious White. That's great, but I think Chase Claypool still remains in that kind of boom bust wide receiver 3 range.
And it's a good defense we're talking about. It's not like the Bills suck.
It's true.
The thing is that's discouraging, though, is that it was a high-paced game. A lot of plays in this game, and Ben Roethlisberger, I get it's good defense, but wow, he looked bad. 188 yards. Yeah, it's pretty much the same concepts. Again, nothing looked all that different. It looked kind of sort of the same. And the other thing about Claypool that was a little bit kind of was Deontay Johnson was out with injury for a while. And Claypool could have, gotten some more looks, gotten some more target. just didn't. He got 5 targets in this game. You know, he was third behind Deontay Johnson with 10 and Juju Smith-Schuster with 8. There was a lot of hand-wringing, a lot of worry about Austin Ekeler coming into this ball game. Like, was his hamstring gonna keep him out of this game? Same hamstring injury that kept him out of a bunch of games last year. And chance of re-injury on hamstrings is extremely high. It was fine. Like, he had a good fantasy day, but just the most bizarre thing was a player who stresses defenses by catching footballs out of the backfield was not targeted one time by this Chargers offense. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned.
Why? He's gonna catch passes. It's fine. Like, you think like
0
next week
targets.
you think he's not going to get like 8 targets next week? You know he's going to catch passes. I couldn't care less that he didn't get a single target in week 1. He got goal opportunities, dude.
I know. That was nice.
That's the thing that's missing for, like, that's the thing that was missing from his portfolio, and he got that
the upside
last week. Like, that is huge. That is a bigger deal than him not seeing any targets in week 1.
Well, hold on. Now, let me say this, dude. The reason I'm bringing this up is you're right. We saw this exact same story play out last year. Okay, but different offensive coordinator, who's, by the way, calling games for the very first time in his career, in Joe Lombardi. But the usage of their wide receivers and tight ends, man, like, they pounded the ball to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. The reason I'm concerned is maybe they just feel like the running back's going to be the running back and doing like traditional running back things, which is not catch the ball out of the backfield. And we've got 2, big time playmakers on it with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. We're just going to give those guys the ball 25 times a game. If that happens, I would say the target share and the target upside for Austin Ekeler, the reception upside for Ekeler has to be lower than a year's. He was averaging 6.5 targets a game last year. I have a difficulty believing that that's where he gets to in 2021.
But if he's getting goal line carries, that offsets it by boosting his upside, number one. And number two, I believe it's just a week 1 thing. He obviously has some sort of injury situation coming into it, so maybe they just didn't want to stress him too much. Joe Lombardi does come from like a Saints background too, so I think they're going to throw the ball to their running backs at some point.
All right. We'll keep an eye on it, man. I'm a little bit more. I'm wringing my hands a little bit more than you are on this, which is fine.